Hey kings and queens, it's Wahima. Let's chat. I'm gonna show you how this translates to this. Alright, so today I want to talk about the face. I uploaded a video about this about a year ago where I talked about the different places that you put makeup or different types of makeup on the face. I'm going to be actually doing an update on that video. And it's this one. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about foundations, about highlight and contour, about concealer, and some other fun topics. I'm not a makeup artist. I can't tell you what undertones you are. I can't even tell you how to decide what color undertones you are. For me, I just look in the mirror. Some places on my face look like I have a red undertone. Some places on my face look like I have a yellow. For instance, I think that I'm more yellow here and I'm more red here. So I try to find foundations that work well with that tone, and not all foundations do that. Today I'm going to be using CoverGirl's All Day Flawless 3-in-1 foundation as an example. To me, this is sort of an in-between. It rides more on the cool undertones than the warm undertones. We also have concealers that get thrown into the mix. So I'm just going to try to be as comprehensive as I can in this video, okay? Now, if you have oily skin, I don't have oily skin and I really don't have any answers for you. But there are plenty of beauty bloggers on YouTube that do have oily skin that can help you out. So for your primer, you want to just take a dab of it and add it to your skin. Some primers are more silicone based. Primers will have what exactly they're good for. Sometimes it'll say like photo finish, it'll say blur and flawless, meaning that it like shrinks your pores, it makes it so that wrinkles don't show. I don't necessarily know how truthful any of that is. I know that some of them feel different than others, like the silicone based ones to me feel like smoother, like I feel like I'm putting some smooth serum on my skin. Okay, so the next phase that I go on to is my foundation. I'm going to be applying this with a sponge because I like the way the sponge applies this foundation specifically. This is a 3-in-1 foundation, so it dries fairly quickly. So there are different types of foundation as well. There's full coverage, there's sheer coverage, medium coverage, and then there's BB creams. BB creams are basically tinted moisturizers. They have more moisturizer elements to them than they do color elements. Hyperpigmentation happens on women of color more often than not because of just aging and because of acne scars or acne spots. So what hyperpigmentation basically means is just that your skin gets more melanated in certain areas than it does, and it causes just unevenness. If I have a foundation that's buildable, that means that you can add another layer and it builds very nicely to be more so of a full coverage. It depends on you if you want full, sheer, or medium coverage. The BB cream that I like to use is Black Radiance BB cream, and I'm in the color Brown Sugar. So you can see the difference, right? Let's zoom in and continue this. Better, right? Great. So now this is a 3-in-1 foundation, means that it dries to a powder finish. I don't need to add any powder to it. If I have a foundation that doesn't, then I would set that foundation with powder. And the reason why you do that is because you sweat and the oils come through your skin and it can make your foundation sort of disappear and dissipate as the day goes on. But a powder sets it in place and keeps it from moving. Now, there are different types of concealers. There's just regular concealers that just conceal any dark spot, and then there's color corrector concealers, and you can use them in conjunction or you can use them by themselves. What I use for color corrector is sort of an orange color. It's called Pure Orange and it's from the MAC Pro collection. Any sort of color that's in the warm orange is the kind of corrector that's going to be used to cover up blue hyperpigmentation or blue areas on your face. Now, for me, blue areas are here. They're underneath my eye. I know it looks black or it looks like it's like sort of dark hyperpigmentation, but this orange really counterbalances that very well. And it counterbalances that is because they're both primary colors and they're across each other on the wheel. Remember when you learned about primary colors and you learned the complementary colors? So if you are somebody who has red spots on your face, and usually that's for fairer skinned women, if you have red spots or redness underneath your eyes instead of blue, then you would go with a green corrector. And you would just dab that on with your ring finger. And you use your ring finger because it's a weak finger and it's not going to pull the sensitive skin that's underneath your eyes. Sometimes I use my color corrector when I'm going for a super flawless beatdown. I might use it before to cover up any spots on my skin, or I might use it afterwards, depending on how I'm going to be blending all the other products on my face. On a regular day, I use Pro Concealer by LA Girl. On a fancier day, I use Pro Longwear by MAC, and this has super red undertones because it's NW45, which is warm 45. The W stands for warm. And this does come in NC 44 or 45 as well. So if you're a cooler tone, then you would do that. I personally think that I'm more red right here and cool right here. So I always go for the warm before I go for the cool. I feel like the cool has the tendency to make me look gray, and I don't want to look gray. I would rather look orange and supple than cool and gray. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I use Espresso by LA Girl. I always think a little bit of concealer just highlights your face. So you can go ham with the concealer and you can add concealer in this entire area for highlight, or you can just add it to this area under here, which is what I'm going to do. For a regular daytime look, I just add a little bit of concealer right there. And as you can see by looking at it, this concealer has a bit of an orange tint, which means it's gonna counterbalance or correct the blue/darkness underneath my eyes. And I just tap that in like so. So you wanna go on ahead and powder it. You can use any kind of powder you want. So what I've been using lately is just translucent and white. And I just set that in there. Can we see the difference on my face? Right? I like to give my eyebrows just a little bit of coloring in. Okay, and you can actually right now see the natural highlight that's happening underneath my eyebrow. It's funny because the days that I want to be a little bit more natural, that's the day I have more makeup on. So you highlight that a little bit. And also when you add your eyeshadow on that area, it now has a nice little base in order to sit on. Okay, let's kind of go over what we went on this side of my face. So on this side of my face, I put my concealer right here. I put a little concealer here. So another option for highlight is highlighting this entire area right here. That's if you're doing a massive beat down. What I've done on this side of my face is something very natural for every day. But if you're doing a massive beat down, meaning that you want your face to be flawless and painted for the back row, you want to highlight this area because you want to think about where the light naturally hits your face. It hits your face at the highest points. So it hits your face here, it hits your face here, and it hits your face here, as well as on your chin. So if you're doing a massive beat down, that means that you've put on full coverage, and that means that your face now has no dimension on it. It is just a blank canvas. It looks one color, it looks very one-dimensional, and you might look a little scary or crazy. So you want to add that dimension back to your face in an artificial way. So you add your highlight starting from underneath your eye, maybe coming down in this area here. These are approximate lines, these are not perfect lines. And you maybe come to about right here. Then you want to contour, because if you notice that this part of my face is just a little bit darker, you want to accentuate this part of your face as well. So for that, I'm going to use my contour. And in here you have it a basically nice blurred line, and you'll see I'll do it on this side of my face. You also want to slim out your jaw as well by adding your contour here. The same goes with your highlight. Yet another layer of highlight right there. Okay, so as an example for this method, I'm going to actually use my contour stick by Black Up Cosmetics. I'm going to use it on this side of my face and show you guys how I do it. One side is the highlight, and the other side is the contour. You also can add some contour right here too to help to accentuate this part of your face as well. And then, sorry I didn't draw it. Let's go and we highlight here too. The cheek, the forehead, and the nose. Some people also contour the nose. meaning they add darkness here. I think it changes the shape of your nose, and I'm never really interested in that, so I don't do it. All right, here we go. If you have any excess powder, just go on ahead and brush it off with a clean, fluffy brush. And there we go. So right now I have a very, very subtle contour on my face. This is sort of a daytime contour. I do have a darker contour that I do for night, and it's a little bit more extreme. Now that you have those layers on your face, you want to add maybe some color to your face, because right now you just put the dimension back. You don't have any color. I like to use a blush. For my blush, I add it to the apple of my cheek. So when I smile, the apple of my cheek, and I take it back. Just to add a little flush to your cheek. For highlight, powdered highlight, I use a fan brush, or you can use a really small brush if you like to, if you want to get it in a very specific area. You want to add that, if you want to the tops of your cheekbones and to above your eyebrows, right below, and in other areas that you want to highlight. I like to highlight my Cupid's bow, and I like to highlight my chin as well. Usually this is done with some sort of gold or bronze color. Very subtle. This is wholly unnecessary, but that's if you want to do that. Sometimes I even add it down here as well. So tops of your cheekbone. Now, if you find that you have hyperpigmentation around your mouth, let's say your mouth is a little bit darker than the rest of your face, or you have it here, you have it in any other area, you can go on ahead and color correct that or put more concealer there if you like. And I want to add corrector or concealer to even out my skin tone so that when I put my lipstick on, my lipstick isn't contending with a super dark shadow right here. But it really just, makeup really just depends on how far you want to go. You don't have to use every single product every day. You don't have to use all the products at once. It really just depends on you. If you get overwhelmed with what you should get and what you shouldn't get and which products to use and which products not to use, start out slow. If foundation is something that you're scared of, start out with your eyeshadow. If eyeshadows are something you're scared of, start out with lipstick. I actually done my lipstick journey with you. You guys have been with me on my lipstick journey, and now I wear lipstick almost every single time I leave the house, even if I have no other makeup on. Makeup is supposed to be fun, and it's supposed to be for everybody. Okay? So if you guys have any questions about the face, or if you feel like I missed something, please let me know. I want to do these types of videos. I think I'm going to do a video about eyeshadow next, maybe eyeliner. Let me know below if you'd be interested in that type of video, okay? I really like talking to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's always a pleasure. Have a fantastic day.